Thank you for joining us today as we officially get our annual United Way fundraising effort underway. My name is Tim Henkel, and I'm here to support you today and to bring a number of things happening about the numerous critical programs that we assist those in our community with the campaign. Now, we usually host a large event to get our campaign started, but we couldn't do that this year. I know that I miss seeing all your faces and feeling the energy of a large group assembling meal packages, painting hallways and shelters, and reading stories to preschoolers. Now, we've all heard over and over that this is an unprecedented year. And in many ways, it really truly is. By just connecting with you this way, rather than in person, is just one of the unique things about this year. So to get us started, during the next 30 minutes, you will hear from our campaign co-chairs. You'll hear some about the unique virtual events that we will host in October. Now, over the past several months, this community has come together to address the COVID crisis. This clearly has been a time for us to work together and to recognize that we truly depend upon one another. Now, you will read and hear the following statement throughout our messaging this year, and that is, what we do today will determine how we live united tomorrow. Now, this is just not a tagline or a catchphrase, but it is a call to action for all of us. So let's get this event underway. Now, I'd like to introduce you to Scott Morris and Jeff Phillips, who you will hear from in a moment. Now, as the pandemic unfolded, a significant shift in how we do our jobs, how we go to school, how we have our social interactions, and we knew this campaign was going to be different. The two individuals who agreed to lead this campaign are long-standing, respected leaders. These are leaders who recognize that the businesses they lead need to consistently learn and adapt. I knew that they were the right individuals to assist us in transforming how United Way connects, collaborates, coordinates, supports, and partners to improve life outcomes for all. Also, these were individuals who previously led our annual campaign. So when I approached them, and with some trepidation, their immediate response to me was, yes. And the next thing they said to me is, what do you need us to do? Now, Scott is the chairman of the board for Avista, and Jeff is the president of Rose Hours, our world-class local leaders. So please sit back for the next few minutes while Scott and Jeff share their reasons for leading.
Well, thank you, Tim. With COVID and with this pandemic, the citizens and families of Spokane need so much help during these trying times. And that's why I am asking you for your help today. Whether it's to help support families that need food and clothing, to help them with health care or daycare, whether it's to help them to pay their rent or to keep them in their home. All those things that we need to do to help support families during that pandemic is what we do here at the United Way, working with government agencies as well as nonprofits, working hard to do the things that we do best in Spokane, which is help our fellow citizens. We've done a lot of things so far already. We've found over $3 million working with the Inova Foundation, Empire Health Foundation, the Gates Foundation, and the Avista Foundation. And we worked with Inova and the Empire Health Foundation to work to expedite efficiently and effectively and quickly getting that money into the hands of the people that need it to help the most. We've had over 1,000 volunteers in the community working with people that need help because of the pandemic. And of course, we've been able to find over 100,000 PPE materials for small businesses here in Spokane during these trying economic times. We've been able to go down to Whitman County to help with the devastating fires because so many people down there need our help. And of course, through all of this, we've kept our eye on the ball at United Way, working with the many agencies that traditionally need our help and support. And we've continued to do that every single day, working to help Spokane be a better place. It's an honor for me to be the co-chair of the United Way campaign. I'm so honored to live in a community where there are so many people that are so generous and willing to help. And I know that Spokane will step up and do what we need to do again, even during the hardest of times. And now I'd like to turn it over to my dear friend and co-chair, Jeff Phillips, the CEO of Rosars.
Thanks, Scott. It's no secret that both Scott and I believe in and are passionate about the work being done by our local United Way. And we're honored to lead this year's community campaign. We know that what we do together today will have an impact on our future tomorrows. Prior to the pandemic, we were seeing improvements in the lives of our families and individuals within the community. Unemployment was at near record lows. Educational achievements, measured by high school graduation rates, were approaching 85% in the county and over 90% in some of our school districts. The median income level in the county grew to nearly $60,000. But within all of this good news and these great achievements, United Way and its many partners could see that there were still many individuals and families who were being left behind and still struggling. Even with our improving high school graduation rate, nearly 1,000 students failed to graduate on time. 80% of those students are students of color or come from low-income families. Spokane County has a rate of domestic and child abuse that is nearly double the state average, with over 6,000 cases reported just last year. Even with our growing median income, 36% of households in Spokane County do not earn enough to meet the basic needs. The COVID crisis has only intensified these issues. Ensuring that everyone has a chance to succeed in life is a goal that all of us can share. Here's what United Way is doing to help. We're leveraging resources provided by generous companies and thousands of donors, people like all of you, to bring additional resources from the Gates Foundation, state and federal resources, and numerous local and regional foundations to address these challenges. We know from results shared by United Way partners that support provided to low-income families and their pre-K children resulted in kindergarten readiness scores improving from 34% in 2018 to an amazing 44% in 2019. 499 clients completed homebuyer education classes, and 53 households purchased their very first home. More than 200 households saved their home from foreclosure. As a result of the pandemic, there was a tremendous spike in individuals and families seeking food, housing, and other assistance. Our 211 helpline answered more than 17,000 calls, a 66% increase from the prior year. Our community has proven over and over that we dream big and we can achieve big goals. As examples, Scott just recently hosted a virtual open house for the new Catalyst building that is part of the University District. Use of cutting-edge technology has created a zero carbon footprint for this incredible innovation hub and higher education facility. Bloomsday, one of our most cherished community events, was recently held virtually. In spite of the virus, 22,000 people participated. Stores, restaurants, businesses, local government, healthcare providers, our schools, and others are all working together to bring our community out of this crisis. I know that the employees of Avista and Rosars, the companies that Scott and I represent, are doing everything we can to ensure that this community emerges from this crisis stronger and safer than ever. And I know all of you are doing the same. We can indeed achieve big goals, including our shared goals of working together to create a better, safer, more financially stable life for everyone in our community. Because what we do today does determine how we will live united tomorrow. Scott and I ask you to join in supporting United Way with your time and your financial gift. This year's campaign has a goal of raising $3.2 million to reinvest in moving our community forward. We ask you to please give what you can to help continue the progress and the improvements that are making our community a great place for all of us.
Scott and Jeff, thank you so much for your messages, and more importantly, for your commitment to making Spokane a place where everyone thrives. Now, I mentioned earlier that we will be hosting 2 different virtual events in October. These unique events will give everyone participating in these some tools to understand the financial challenges many families are facing in our community, and how we can come together to better understand and address issues of equity and justice for everyone. First of all, you will learn a little bit about Alice households that are struggling financially here in Spokane. So let me introduce you to one of my United Way colleagues, Andrey Muzychenko.
ALICE, an acronym for Asset Limited, Income Constrained, Employed, is a new way of defining and understanding households that earn above the federal poverty level and struggle day to day to make ends meet. Traditional measures of poverty do not capture the magnitude of people who are financially insecure. We all know Alice, or may have been Alice at some point. Many of these households are one emergency away from a financial crisis. Think about getting into your car and it doesn't start. Perhaps it's a simple battery change or a major fix. All of us can relate to these unexpected emergencies. The data-rich ALICE report provides an eye-opening statistics that challenge perceptions about who is financially unstable. Armed with this data, Spokane County United Way aims to change the local dialogue about the impacts on households when a financial crisis can be a norm for so many. According to the federal poverty guidelines, 13% of households in Spokane County live in poverty. Yet, another 22% of households do not earn enough to afford basic necessities living month to month. Our intention with this report is to shine a light on the true number of families struggling to make ends meet in Spokane County. Please join us for a 30-minute virtual ALICE workshop to learn more about this framework and how you can get involved with United Way to create positive change in our community. I encourage you to sign up by following the link on the screen.
Thanks, Andrey. So please register for one of these 2 sessions to learn a little bit more about ALICE households in Spokane. Now, allow me to introduce you to another United Way colleague who is with me in the studio today. Michaela Brown is the director of Accelerate Success. Accelerate Success is an effort initiated by United Way to address issues of equity, inclusion, and justice into our work and into the broader community conversation. Michaela.
As Andrey mentioned, the ALICE framework provides us with a fuller picture of who in our community is one emergency away from financial hardship. The ALICE data also shows us that Black and Brown households are disproportionately represented as ALICE. Our vision of healthy families, educational success for all students, and the prevention of hunger and homelessness requires us to acknowledge the racial inequities that exist in our community across all sectors. Through Accelerate Success, a project of Spokane County United Way, we support our community in having the challenging conversations about race, income, and other forms of difference. We are committed to continue to provide capacity in our community to learn more about equity, develop common language, and foster strategies to meet our aspirations of advancing a community where everyone belongs and is able to thrive. To learn more about equity and what you can do, please join us at our upcoming Equity Primer sessions. Registration is open now at unitedwayspokane.org.
Thank you, Michaela, for that overview of the Equity Primer sessions that you're facilitating later this month. So please join us for one of these important discussions. Your United Way, Spokane County United Way, works with partners to ensure that every child, every household has the tools, skills, and resources to realize their fullest potential. The work of this United Way is focused on improving life outcomes for those marginalized by poverty and racism. I know that this is a goal that all of us share. The pandemic has forced us to do things like we've never had to before. It has accelerated innovation. It has also intensified issues and tensions that already existed. Returning to normal doesn't really feel like an option for us. I believe that the new normal that is talked about so often will not just be about how we go to work and go to school, shop, and interact. Our new normal, I believe, really must be about how we can co-create together a more hopeful, equitable, fair, and just community. We cannot do this alone. We need you. And one of the ways we need your help is with your generosity. Scott Morris and Jeff Phillips shared their reasons for supporting United Way and ask you to join them in giving to United Way this year. So let's hear one last message from Scott Morris.
You've heard all the tremendous needs we have here in the community, and you've heard our case, why it's so important for you to give now. So what I'm asking you is to open up your heart and your checkbook, and please make a gift to the United Way. Your money, your time, your effort will go a long way to help Spokane be a better place. So thank you for your help, thank you for your gift, and thank you for helping Spokane.
Thank you. Now I urge you, I ask you to do the same, to please make that gift. What we do today will determine how we live united tomorrow. I ask you to join us on this journey to build a better tomorrow for everyone in Spokane County. Let me extend my thanks to Scott and Jeff for their leadership and their messages. I also want to thank my colleagues, Andrey and Michaela, for their messages today and for their work every day with United Way. My thanks to our great staff at United Way who have been working tirelessly these past months with our community partners and with one another to create a better tomorrow. My thanks also goes out to our board, a group of committed and caring leaders for this community. And finally, a huge thanks to the team here at KHQ who have made this live virtual event possible. Their support today is just one more way that we can see how this community comes together and businesses in this community come together to lend a hand. Thanks for being a part of this. Thanks for your participation with United Way, and thanks for joining us today.